And we're off. No, actually we're on. So, little story here. Seems like I have an ear infection and a sinus infection. I did the teledoc thing. It's pretty neato. Apparently they can look in your throat just by going like that, and they can see what's wrong with you. Yeah, I don't think so, but that's okay. I'm on medicine, and so just if I sound weird, that's why. But then again, I'm just weird anyways. So I'm gonna start this off. We're gonna start with a nice little poem out of A Light in the Attic. It's called It's Hot. And yes, in Arizona, it's hot, so this makes a lot of sense. So here we go. It's hot, I cannot get cool. I've drunk a quart of lemonade. I think I'll take my shoes off and sit around in the shade. It's hot, my back is sticky. The sweat rolls down my chin. I think I'll take my clothes off and sit around in my skin. It's hot. I've tried the electric fans and pools and ice cream cones. I think I'll take my skin off and sit around in my bones. It's still hot. It really is. It's still hot. I agree. Check that out. That's pretty cool. All right, so I really like a song, and believe it or not, it's written by Shel Silverstein. So it fits for bedtime stories, but it's not an under 5-year-old bedtime story. So fair warning, turn off now, 5-year-olds around, okay? All right, so a boy named Sue. Well, my daddy left home when I was 3, and he didn't leave much to Ma and me. Just this old guitar and an empty bottle of booze. Now, I don't blame him, 'cause he'll run and hid. But the meanest thing he ever did was before he left, he went and named me Sue. Well, he must have thought that is quite a joke, and it got a lot of laughs from a lot of folks. It seems I had a fight my whole life through. Some gal would giggle and I'd get red, and some guy'd laugh and I'd bust his head. I tell ya, life ain't easy for a boy named Sue. Well, I grew up quick and I grew up mean. My fists got hard and my wits got keen. Roamed from town to town to hide my shame, but I made me a vow to the moon and the stars. I'd search the honky-tonk and bars and kill the man who gave me that awful name. Well, it was Gatlinburg in mid-July, and I just hit town and my throat was dry. I thought I'd stop and have myself a brew. At an old saloon on a street of mud, there at a table dealing stud sat the dirty, mangy dog that named me Sue. Well, I knew that snake was my own sweet dad from a worn-out picture that my mother's had, and I knew that scar on his cheek and his evil eye. He was big and bent and gray and old, and I looked at him and my blood ran cold, and I said, "My name is Sue. How do you do? Now you're gonna die." Yeah, that's what I told him. Well, I hit him hard right between the eyes, and he went down, but to my surprise, he came up with a knife and cut off a piece of my ear. But I busted a chair right across his teeth, and he crashed through the wall and into the street, kicking and a gouging on the mud and the blood and the beer. I tell you, I fought at tougher men, but I really can't remember when. He kicked like a mule and he bit like a crocodile. I heard him laugh and then I heard him cuss. He went for his gun and I pulled mine first. He stood there looking at me and I saw him smile. And he said, "Son, this world is rough. And if a man's gonna make it, he's gonna be tough. And I know I wouldn't be there to help you along. So I give you a name, and I said goodbye. I knew you'd have to get tough or die. And it's the name that helped me to make you strong." Yeah, he said, "Now you just fought one hell of a fight, and I know you hate me, and you got that right to kill me now, and I wouldn't blame you if you do. But you ought to thank me before I die for the gravel in your guts and the spit in your eye, 'cause I'm the son of a, that named you Sue." Yeah, that's the B word that rhymes with witch, in case you're wondering. Yeah, that could I do, and could I do What could I do? I got all choked up and I threw down the gun, called my pa, and he called me son. And I came away with a different point of view. And I think about him now and then, every time I try and every time I win. And if I ever have a son, I think I'm gonna name him Bill or George. Anything but Sue. I still hate that name. Yeah. Honest story. Written by Shel Silverstein. I just wanted to read it tonight. Didn't even realize it was by him. That's freaking awesome. Oh, and in case you're wondering, this was sung by Johnny Cash live in 1976. And if you know anything about me, that's the year I was born. So this is even better. And if you ask my brothers, if I had been a girl, my name would not have been Christopher. It would have been, Christine, Christina. I think they told me a lot of things, so I can relate. I was almost a boy named Sue. So without further ado, good night. Stay safe. Stay healthy. I'm still COVID-19 free and on antibiotics. Have a good night. Bye.